the heart of the village like an ancient wound. During the dry season, it was a little more than a trickle, but when the rain came, it swelled into a raging torrent that claimed lives with cold indifference. For generations, the people had lived with cycle of loss, accepting it as simply the way of things. Maya remembered the day her young brother was taken by the water. He had been only 7, trying to cross during what seemed like a safe moment. The memory of her mother well still haunted her dreams 20 years later. After college in the city, Maya could have stayed there, have perhaps as her parents insisted. Civil engineering degree could open doors to comfortable offices and steady paychecks. The river called her home. To be done, Elder Thomas, she first proposed during the village. As the village had grown comfortable with wearing it like a coat, wouldn't cover a quarter of it. Taking every peso she could. 3 years passed. The river took 2 more children. Tuesday, an envelope arrived bearing the seal of multinational construction company. Inside was not just a pledge of materials, but engineers willing to volunteer their expertise. The letter mentioned how the CEO's grandmother had come from a village much like theirs, where a similar river had claimed his great-uncle. Work began the following spring. Progress was slow, complicated by unexpected problems that sent Maya back to her calculation time and again. Some villagers helped, others watched skeptically from a distance. Elder Thomas never came at all. When the first concrete pier rose from the riverbed, something shifted in the river. Children brought lunch to the workers. Retired men offered their hands for the lighter task. Even those who couldn't help physically began to speak our bridge rather than Maya's folly. The first rain tested their work brutally. Maya spent that night on the unfinished structure, watching water rise around the foundation, calculating pressures in her hand until dawn found her exhausted but triumphant. The piers had held. It took 2 years to complete. On the day of the opening ceremony, Maya stood back as the ribbon was cut by the oldest and youngest member of the community together. Elder Thomas and 5-year-old girl whose parent had been lost to the river years before. I was wrong, Thomas whispered to Maya as people streamed across the bridge for the first time, their footsteps creating a gentle thunder. This is not just a bridge of concrete fill. Maya nodded, watching as decades of fear seemed to wash away with each crossing. Children ran back and forth, their laughter and counterpoint to the river-muted roar below. That night, she sat alone on the bridge, legs dangling over the edge, watching the water that had shaped her life flow beneath her feet. The bridge would outlast her. She knew it would stand when the children crossing it today brought their grandchildren to see it. Some would tell the story of how it came to be. Others would simply cross, never thinking about the impossibility it once represented. Either way, the river would continue its journey to the sea, and the people would continue theirs. Only now, they would do so together, connected rather than divided by the waters that had once kept them apart. And Maya, running her hand along the smooth concrete railing, finally the weight of her brother's memory